Soft moonlight filters through the tent's canvas, casting pale rectangles on the packed earth floor as night deepens. The crackle of dying embers drifts from the central fire, mingling with whispered breaths and the distant murmur of sentries on their rounds. You lie wrapped in your woolen blanket, the cool air teasing at your skin, and feel the weight of the day settle into your bones. Moments of half-wakefulness drift in your mind. The smile of your daughter as you penned your letter, the tang of spiced wine on your tongue, the firm heft of your gladius after sharpening. You shift slightly, adjusting the leather strap of your belt so the blade's hilt doesn't press into your side. Outside, a faint howl of a lone wolf echoes across the silent camp, briefly unsettling the stillness before fading into the night. Sleep comes in gentle waves, carrying you toward dreams of marble halls and olive groves. You imagine yourself walking beneath colonnaded porticos in Rome, sandals clicking on stone, the chatter of market vendors filling the warm air. In these dreams, the legion's tents vanish, replaced by the bustling bustle of the city you left behind. You see your father's gray hair, heavy with wine stains and laughter lines, and feel the tug of homesickness not in your chest. But always, the legion's rhythms, whistle, march, forge, pull you back. A heartbeat of iron and discipline that anchors you to this far-flung frontier. A sudden rustle stirs you. You sit upright, hand instinctively on your gladius, but realize it's only the tent flap swaying as a breeze drifts through. You exhale, the tension easing, and lie back down. In the half-light, you notice Marcus stirring in the next cot, offering a small nod before drifting back to rest. The bond between tent mates, forged in shared toil and guarded by whispered trust, feels as crucial as the segmented armor on your chest. Soon, a faint glow heralds the pre-dawn watch. A lantern is lit nearby, its golden flare dancing against the canvas walls. Sentries call out the hour in hushed Latin tones, prima vigilia, marking the first watch. You rise, prompting Marcus and the other 6 in your contubernium to follow. Evening's chores are recalled. You gather discarded cloaks, tighten loose tent lines, and stoke a small brazier to warm the air. The hiss of fresh embers merging with coals is a comforting refrain, a promise that the camp remains alive and vigilant. By the light of the brazier, you prepare a simple midnight meal, a handful of dried figs and a slice of hard cheese. Each bite is slow, deliberate, savoring textures that will sustain you until dawn. You sip water from a wooden goblet, its coolness a small relief against the lingering warmth on your tongue. Around you, comrades share the same quiet ritual, each lost in solitary thoughts, yet bound by the unspoken camaraderie of the watch. When your shift ends, you stow the brazier and return to your cot, settling once more under the blanket's folds. Before slipping into sleep, you whisper a prayer to Janus, god of beginnings, for guidance through the coming days' unknowns. The prayer is simple. May my steps be steady, my blade true, my heart steadfast. With that, you close your eyes and let darkness claim you again. Dawn arrives swiftly, streaking the sky with ripples of amber and rose. The camp stirs as if awoken by a gentle hand. Tent flaps lift, boots shuffle, and an unspoken promise of routine beckons. You rise, muscles humming, and step outside into the cool morning glow. The legion's standards shimmer in the light breeze, the eagle's wings raising and falling in silent affirmation of Rome's might. After another roll call, you join the midday chores, erecting a temporary wooden platform for the sacrificium. A small offering of barley and incense will be laid before the standards to honor Mars, god of war. You help spread the grain into a neat circle, then scatter a handful of powdered resin to feed the smoke as the centurion pronounces the prayer. Together, you and your comrades bow your heads, acknowledging both the sacred and the unbreakable bonds you share. With ceremony complete, it's time for drills. Today's focus is shield wall tactics. In pairs, you grasp your scutum and advance in lockstep with another legionary. The scuda press together, forming an impenetrable barrier of oaken shields edged in bronze. Your feet pound the ground in unison. Left, right, left, right. The chant of testudo echoes as you bring shields above to form the tortoise formation, tips aligned to deflect arrows overhead. Each movement is exact. Shields angle, bodies bend, feet pivot, without a hint of hesitation. You feel the reassuring solidity of this practice, a living manifestation of the unity that has carried your legion through countless battles. After drills, you're assigned to the forges. The blacksmith takes your iron ingot, heated to molten red, and you hammer beside him. Sparks burst with each strike, illuminat, in your sweat-wet brow. Under his instruction, you shape the metal into a new set of nails for the palisade gates. The rhythmic clang-clang of hammer on anvil merges with your breath, forging not only iron, but also the resolve that defines a soldier. When the last nail is cooled and quenched in water, you survey your handiwork. Each piece is smooth and true, ready to hold logs together against any assault. As midday heat intensifies, you seek shade beneath the rear ramparts. Here, hay bales stacked for catapults and siege towers cast long shadows. You settle onto a rough beam, removing your helmet to let the breeze play through your hair. A servant brings cool water infused with mint leaves, and you lift the leather cup to your lips. The tang of mint enlivens your senses, sharpening your mind even as fatigue tugs at your limbs. You wilt none. Instead, you rise, shoulders straight, prepared for the next task. Afternoon brings construction duties, reinforcing the latrines, wooden partitions so that privacy and hygiene can be maintained. You work alongside laborers, measuring lengths of timber and driving pegs with an adze. Each piece falls into place with precise effort, ensuring that even the camp's humblest areas are secured against collapse and disease. You remind younger recruits of the importance of sanitation and how the slightest oversight can invite deadly infections. Their attentive nods affirm that knowledge, as much as steel, is a weapon in the legionary's arsenal. A sudden trumpet call signals the approach of allied envoys bearing news from the province. Rushing back to the main courtyard, you witness the centurion welcoming a delegation of local magistrates. They exchange gifts of amphorae filled with olive oil and pressed olives in woven baskets. A translator, a Greek-speaking attendant, conveys mutual respect and promises of safe passage along the road ahead. You catch a glimpse of the magistrates' fine robes and gold trim, marveling at the wealth Rome's reach has inspired. The meeting concludes with hearty handshakes and raised cups of sweet wine. You return to your tent with renewed purpose, aware that your service sustains not only the Empire's borders, but also its alliances. Evening descends, and cooks kindle the hearth anew. The familiar smells envelope you: barley stew thick with herbs, roasted dormice spiced with coriander, and handheld pastries filled with curd cheese. You join the line at the serving table, accepting a wooden bowl brimming with stew and a half loaf of dense wheat bread. The first taste is a relief, a comforting warmth that seeps into your very core. You find a seat among your tent mates, and conversation bubbles up. Tales of childhood games in distant Italian villages, humorous slips of new recruits still learning Latin commands, and reminiscences of past campaigns under gale force winds. After dinner, lanterns are lit to chase back the twilight. You gather at the rear of camp for a reading from the Legion's memoirs. A veteran soldier holds a parchment, his voice low and resonant, recounting exploits on foreign shores, the siege of Massilia, the march through Gaul, the crossing of the Rhine. You close your eyes, picturing those battles, the clash of steel and shield, the triumphs that shaped Rome's destiny. With each word, you feel part of a lineage larger than yourself, a current in the vast river of Roman glory. Before night fully claims the sky, you join a small group for a last ritual, the cleaning of weapons. Each gladius is rinsed in oil and water, then wiped dry and sheathed with care. As you polish the bronze hilt, you reflect on the significance of this act. The blade is not merely a tool of war, but a testament to discipline, respect, and readiness. You wrap your belt and strap your sword at your side, feeling completeness in the tiny click of metal meeting leather. At your cot, you place your helmet aside and lay out fresh tunic and sandals for tomorrow's dawn. You untie your scutum straps and lean the shield against the tent wall. Its curved surface, painted with the emblem of the century, bears scuffs from practice, but stands firm. You offer a silent thanks for its protection, then slip under the blanket, the coarse wool of familiar cradle. In the dark hush, with only the cadence of snoring comrades and distant owl calls as company, sleep returns. This night you dream not of home, but of tomorrow's sunrise, of the Legion marching forward, of new lands to secure, and of the steady drumbeat of Empire echoing across the world. When dawn breaks again, you will rise to whistle calls and shield drills, to rations of porridge and salted pork, to unwavering duty and quiet pride. But for now, rest carries you between worlds, the waking camp and the realm of dreams. In both, you stand firm as a Roman soldier, loyal, disciplined, and ever ready for the adventures that each new day will bring.